Talking Joe podcast, minds in motion. Talk about relationships, help your emotions. Behavior management when your kids start to losing it. Talk about life and all the confusion. Minds in motion. Minds in motion. Talk about relationships. I'm talking Joe podcast, minds in motion. Talk about relationships, help your emotions. Behavior management when your kids start to losing it. Talk about life and all the confusion. Minds in motion. Minds in motion. Talk about relationships. Emotion. Minds in motion. Talk about relationships.
Good evening and welcome to Minds in Motion with me, your host, Jewel. So tonight, we're having some technical difficulties. So I'm just gonna say that off the top of the show. So if I look like I'm frozen or if I don't know what's going on, it's because there's some technical difficulties. And that happens when you go live. Sometimes you see it all the time on broadcast. So that's okay. We're gonna make our way through it. Tonight we have a wonderful guest. Her name is Annalisa, and she is the founder, creative director, and founder of Conscious Dreams. She is here tonight, and we're gonna learn more about her and what her business is. So she's also a CYC, and we're gonna bring her up to the stage so we can have a conversation.
Hello, hello, hello. How are you tonight?
Good night, Alisa. Thank you so much for being on Minds in Motion. I was explaining to the viewers that are watching on all the platforms. So I didn't even mention that we're on Facebook, TDN TV, we're on YouTube, TDN TV, and we're on radio tonight. We're also on Instagram. So it's going to be a lot tonight, but we're going to get through it. As you can see, for the viewers that are watching us, thank you so much for watching. You're going to see two screens with me and Annalisa. Annalisa, thank you so much again for being here.
Thank you
Um,
for having me. I
yeah,
appreciate it.
yeah. So I introduced you as the creative director and founder of Conscious Dreams. So tell us a little bit about yourself first and then about Conscious Dreams.
A little bit about me. Well, uh, I have a long history going back. I am currently, like you said, I'm a child and youth care worker. I work in the board as well as an EA, whatever they need support with. Whatever the children need support with, that's where I'm at, basically. And
Okay.
at home, I'm a mama.
Yes. And fun fact, Annalisa and I met many, many years ago, but haven't spoken in many, many years as well. So tonight's gonna be like just a chit chat with us girls, just talking, catching up, finding out what Annalisa's up to, and I guess she's gonna ask questions to me as well. Um when I thought about Minds in Motion and all of the potential guests that can be on the show, I just looked for mainly female entrepreneurs, Black women that are in the fields of working with children and making a difference in their lives through the work that they do. So, Annalisa, tell us about Conscious Dreams, what you do, like your business that you have.
So, in a nutshell, what we do is we run guided workshops for children and youth that help with their creativity, social skills, and helps them build their confidence. That's the overarching.
Okay. All
Yeah.
right. So we have an hour or so to talk about your business, for you to promote your business, and also for parents that are watching and for caregivers that are watching, even educators that want to know more about your business and possibly hire you to come in and work with their kids. I
Yeah.
think that's the goal here, right?
Yes.
Um, so I promoted the show as learning through play. And I think based on based on my background, learning through play means that in the early years that a child is going to be developing their skills through play, like how we were taught. So with the alphabet, we sung our alphabet, and we're learning through like the sounds of the alphabet and that kinds of stuff. So what do you do with your kids when they come to you?
So the company is the bridge for that gap between learning and playing. I work with the children, and through hands-on workshops that work with like Lego, for example. So if we have Lego, we're learning how to build towers, but also we're learning patterning, we're learning sharing, team building, imagination. Sometimes if they have a science project, we'll use Play-Doh or Lego or whatever malleable materials to get through that project.
Hmm.
Not everybody learns the same, not everybody interprets things the same. So we like getting busy, getting our hands busy, getting our minds busy, stuff like that.
Yeah. And what's the age group generally that you your business would cater to? Is it a wide range, or is it just like a
The
early
key
years?
Yeah, the key focus for our workshops, like in schools and in community centers and stuff like that, are 5 to 9 years old. Like that age group, especially post COVID, we see a huge gap with the learning for that age group. So that's where we're trying to fill in some gaps before they have to move on. But for things like birthday parties, we can give a little more leeway, and we kind of stretch from ages 3 to 12.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah. All right. So it's definitely early years, like the latency
early.
age years. So like
Yeah,
the foundation, teaching them the foundation of, like you said, how to play, how to share, those kinds of things, right?
yeah.
Um, let's scale it back a little bit and talk about how you got into this business and why you thought it was something that would be something that people would want for their kids.
Yeah, for sure. So my background, like we touched on before, I've always worked with children and youth ever since I was probably 12 years old. Not really my first job, but as a little LIT running around the summer camps, I
Hmm.
was the youth leader there and worked summer camps all the way through, became a coach, started helping other people developing their programs that they were leading. And there was always something missing in the programs because people were always not out for money, but at some point they forget that the kids are the center of the programming. And I try to adjust my programming to meet the needs as they develop, as they evolve. Whereas some programs, it's in the past, it's just stayed whatever makes money. It's like, this is what it is, we're sticking to this is what we're doing. But not all kids are like that. We have different social challenges.
Hmm.
um, and I just said, you know what, let me just do my own company. And even in child and youth care, you see that we hit a lot of barriers in our field, a lot of barriers. There's a lot of things that are holding back our youth. Um, Even working with youth in that aspect, hitting some of those barriers, I find that no matter what we do with the youth, I don't know if you see this as well, but no matter what we do with them and they come out prosperous, whenever they have to go back into the same environment, some of them regress. A lot of them regress, and
Yes.
everything they've worked hard for gets undone. Part of that shifted my career as well at one point to be a business coach. So I was helping
Mhm.
small business owners, the families, get out of the red and be successful. So at the same time that I'm growing mine, I'm giving back. And
Right.
then on top of it, because I never leave my youth behind, a piece of our programming is that we give some of the youth their first
Mm.
jobs. So I
Okay.
have some of my students as my little so-called LITs. So they're my
Yes.
junior leaders. I'm their reference for their first job. I'm teaching them leadership skills in a different capacity, right? So,
Yes.
so it's just a full circle program, and that's how I want it to be.
Okay.
And then parents, obviously, they love the concept, right? They get to see their kids coming out of our programming as a success in
Right.
something. Like they're
Right.
happy. The kids are happy when they leave. And that's our goal. That is our only goal. They learn things. They don't always know they learn things, and I'm
Yes.
okay with that.
Because
But
they're
they learn,
playing, right?
yeah, I'm cool with that.
Hmm.
But yeah, Long-winded answer. But
Oh, I
that was
appreciate that.
essentially
I
how I
appreciate that.
started this.
No,
Pardon?
no, I appreciate that. I appreciate the long-winded answers because then I can build from that with more questions. But I like that. So conscious dreams, where I mean, I can think of what I think that means, but
What,
conscious
what,
dreams,
what do you
like
think
what?
it would mean to you? Let's see.
Well, conscious, like well, I think it comes from, like going back to our roots and thinking about
Mm.
like our people and how we're conscious minded, and it's a positive way of thinking, and this is how you want to spread those positive dreams with your clientele and your kids, and that they have that way of thinking.
Yep. Yeah. Right on the money. It's bringing those like those dreams, that conscious reality to life, like bringing your dreams to life. Whatever you think can be, right? And that's just what it is. That's what it's rooted in,
Okay, consciousness. I love it. I love
right?
it.
Thank you.
Okay, so me just like kind of like perusing through your Instagram page, I noticed that you do like when there's like events, you'll set up a booth, you'll have your stuff ready. Are you also doing like kind of like childcare if there's like a parent program going on that you would like be hired as a childcare program that is taking care of the kids while the adults are busy? Is that something your business offers
Yes.
as well?
Yes. So our one of our most popular programming is exactly that. We set up a children's corner, children's center at whatever the grown up event is. As a mom myself, even when I have to go to markets, I
Yeah.
sometimes can't if I don't have childcare. So what we do, we go to the booths, whether we're a vendor or not, there's always a child center set up where we are. So we'll have Lego out, we'll have games out, we'll have whatever it is out.
Yeah.
Sometimes we have a challenge for the day, like come over here, let's you build your coolest spaceship, something like that. We have a challenge for the day depending what the market is, and we theme it to wherever we are. We
Okay.
also have another popular one is mom nights. So a few community moms get together once a month and they hire us to come in. We're in the basement. We set up child haven of
I love
workshops. So we
that.
usually have all kind of different activities running while
Mhm.
the moms are upstairs having their tea.
I love it. Yeah, the tea.
Their tea. And
I
we're
love
downstairs
it.
hanging. Yeah.
I love it. And I thought about that because I was once hired in the past to do just that. It was a wedding,
Yes.
and they were like, "Oh, Crystalline, or Jewel, sorry, Jewel, you're a child and youth worker. Why don't you work
Exactly.
this night? Can you do it?" I'm like, "Absolutely." I came up with some games, activities, and that was it. And
Yep.
I guess for you, you're like, "Hey, this could be a business."
Absolutely. Why not? And let's do it right. We're not just there for the entertainment. Because at the same
Yeah.
time, we're thinking of these children. Whatever space I can get the children in, we can learn. We can learn. We don't need it to feel like you're learning. But when you go back to school, because
Mhm.
us being in the schools, we see how it feels to those children to be missing something, to have those gaps. And wherever I can fill it, let's do it. So if
Yeah.
we have to have you at a baby shower and all the kids are there learning their 1, 2, 3s, ABCs, I'm cool with that.
Yeah, yeah. You just reminded me of actually something that I am doing currently in my school. I know you're here to be interviewed, but we're using the alphabet to encourage learning. So the students are now in the sixth grade, and some of them are having difficulties even knowing the sound of the letters,
Yep.
and like coming up quickly with a three-letter word with that one letter. And just thinking about, like, we are in Ontario and our premier was afraid to even show the stats of where we're at, our academic level,
Because
right?
it's
So you're
embarrassing right now.
yeah, it's embarrassing, so I think you're going down the right path and trying to support play, learning through play. And
Yeah,
for those who are watching, make
that's the
sure
goal.
you get Annalisa's information.
Hit me up. We're
Uh,
here.
yeah.
And I also feel bad, like as you're talking about our education system, I feel bad for the teachers. They have so much on their plates. Ontario, we have bigger classrooms now all of a sudden. So they can't do it all. We can't expect them to do it all. They try their best. Some
Yeah.
teachers go above and beyond. And we just want to support that. We want to give them that little breather so that, hey, we're here. What do you need? And then we help out, right? We're not
Okay.
here to compete with the schools. We're here to support them.
Right. So I guess we could talk offline, but I think it would be a great idea for you to have a partnership with the board. I know you said you're with the board, but maybe, we'll talk
That'd be
offline
great.
about that stuff.
Yeah, we'll
To get
connect.
a partnership, yeah, because you know how it is, right?
Absolutely. Yeah.
And you're doing great things. Like I think
Thank you.
sometimes, so in our system, like we're being listened to by people right now that are not in Canada and not within our education system, but within Canada. Just to give the listeners and the viewers a little bit of insight, um we keep saying learning through play. So learning through play only happens in JK. Well, it's supposed to only happen in JK and SK, which is junior and senior kindergarten. So they're when they get to grade one, it's all about pen to paper or pencil to paper. They forget that these kids are just coming out of kindergarten and still need a little bit of play-based learning. So
Right.
what are your thoughts on that?
I think that's unfortunate
Mm,
because, like I said, when I was in camps and stuff like that, when I was younger in camps, some of the best
mm,
times were playing. I had the best manhunt, all those things, the greatest times. And I got to be a kid. I feel like now a lot of the kids are being rushed to grow up, especially with how society is shifting. They're being too involved in that and they don't get to just fool around, mess up, make mistakes. And
yeah,
playing, you can do that.
yeah.
Yeah.
That's so true. Um, I try to teach like kids that they're doing a communications so okay if they're doing a game, they're learning following directions, listening skills, all of those things that they're learning, right? Can you give an example of one specific game that targets different learning skills? Have you thought about that?
Oh, put me on the spot. There's so many
Yeah, yeah,
games.
yeah, I know. There
What
are so many
I
games.
tend to even make up games.
Mm-hmm.
So I'll make up games on the spot. There's some games that kick the can is one of our favorite ones. So
Mm-hmm.
we'll have either in teams or individuals, there's a soda can, for
Yeah.
example, fill it up with some dirt, put it in the middle, and then the entire group is going to hide while one person's in the middle. And
Mm-hmm.
they're and I usually try to get the shyest person or the person that's the most scared often to be in the middle and build their
Mm-hmm.
confidence there. Hey, they can't hear you. Make sure you count louder. Hey, count louder. Okay, we'll count together. Or whoever's having
Mm-hmm.
challenges with counting. And
Yeah.
then they're counting, they're looking for people as they're counting, or when it's time to go, they're looking for where everyone's hiding, and they'll
Mm-hmm.
yell out if they see you. But they're also using their description. Hey, I see Jewel behind the green tree. I see Johnny under the red slide. So you want to be
Okay.
as detailed as possible. And then
Right.
if say that person that's in the middle walks over to the red slide, somebody can pop up, come over and kick the can, and it's their turn in the middle.
Okay.
Everyone's free, right?
Yeah.
Everyone's
Okay.
free.
That sounds like a familiar game that maybe I've played before.
Back in the day,
Yeah.
I don't know if you played it, but I sure
It
did.
sounds familiar.
We
Yeah.
just
And we don't
we
see
just
that
evolve
anymore.
on it.
Yeah.
Yeah, we just build on it. And then depending on the theme, like some it might be a superhero party. So you have to fly to go and kick the can. You have to fly to the can,
Mhm.
right? Stuff like that. You just change it up and switch up your imagination.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Nice. Well, I know you were saying that you're not really you need to promote yourself more, right? So
Yeah, I hide in the
so you
background.
do vendors events. So you've been at vendors events, vending events. So if there's like a festival, and how do you get yourself involved in that?
In terms of getting involved with the events, it's usually word of mouth. Sorry, I have a newborn crying in the back there, but if anyone's hearing that.
Getting started.
But for vendors events, it's usually word of mouth, honestly. There's one event I do not miss, one market I do not miss, and it's with the Guardians. They do a shelter,
Okay.
like a dog shelter. I know it's
Okay.
animals,
Oh,
right?
dog shelter.
It's a dog shelter. So usually they are either downtown or they are at Shops at Don Mills. So we're always there. It's one of our favorite markets. And that's where I teach my students the most of getting involved. It's with Guardians
Mhm.
Best Animal Rescue.
Okay, I'm just gonna
So
write that
they
down.
host it.
Okay.
Guardians Best Animal Rescue. So they always do different markets there. And it's usually, there's sometimes craft people there. So from
Mhm.
there, we even get invited to other markets
Ah,
because
okay.
in terms of balancing it all, I don't really
Yeah.
get out there much. And I personally, I'm not at the forefront of my business. I let my students be at the forefront. I let the youth be at the forefront. I don't.
I mean, and that's how, it should be as a business owner, right? So,
Yeah,
but you're being the CEO and founder, you kind of direct and you say,
yeah,
this is how I want it to be, and this is where we're going to be, and how you set up and whatnot. Right.
exactly. I just
Okay.
make sure the gears are running and that
Right.
everyone's good. But I
Right.
know I got to pop out more and make sure everyone knows who's running behind the scenes here. Who's leading Oz? It's me.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, you have that what do you call it? Residual income coming in. You can be somewhere else, maybe on vacation, and somebody's working for you, and that's what it's about, right?
That's what it's yeah, that's exactly what it's about, and giving other people opportunities, right? So I've had other businesses in the past, and I've like I said, I was business coaching for a while. We actually sold a business not too long ago. That's how we got in with Guardians Best, was through a
Okay.
different business. And then I was like, hey, you guys always have kids running around these events. I got you. I got you covered. Let's keep them away from the dogs. Let the parents
Yeah,
go around. And
yeah,
then we're here.
that's
And then
amazing.
our booth gets pretty busy, especially in the summertime.
Yeah. I'm just thinking, my wheels are turning as
I
you're
see the
speaking.
gears.
What is that magazine called? Today's Parent?
I've heard of
Today's
it.
Parent. Maybe
Yes.
like try. I'm just writing it down for you.
Please. I like notes. I have
So
my
trying to
notepad.
get trying to get into a magazine like that, so there's more awareness about your business and stuff like that, right?
Yeah, that's
Um,
the goal this year.
yeah, and I think also, I mean, let's talk about our people, okay? Let's
Let's
talk
go.
about our people. And I know when we do businesses, we don't want it just to be for our people, but initially we're like, well, our people are not accessing these services.
Hmm.
They're there, but they're not accessing them. Like, what are your thoughts around that?
That's a loaded topic
I
because
mean, yeah, I can see from my point of view, I can talk to you, and then you maybe want to tack
yeah,
on.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Let's do that. Let's do that.
Okay. So for me, I'm initially when I started this Minds in Motion slash, I'm gonna do some counseling based therapeutic counseling and consultation. um our Black people, our Caribbean people, African people, they tend to shy away from services like this, and it comes along with the mistrust of other people. And I don't want so and so in my business. And I don't want them to know my income, that kind of stuff. And it's always secretive. And I find that it's hard for us to grow as a people because we're always trying to be secretive and competing with each other and doing things in a silo. And a lot of times we say, well, I'm not doing that. That's not for my people. My people don't do this.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah,
And then, but you're catering to this
yeah.
audience and they're not accessing it. And then you're like, okay, well, I need to go somewhere else. And those people don't, and those other people don't ask how much things cost. You're like,
But then
do
you
you
a
have the
sellout.
service? Do you have the service? They
Yep,
want it,
yep.
and they're gonna invest in it for their
Quick,
children.
quick,
Okay. So I
quick.
wonder if we're on the same page with that.
We absolutely are. So,
Okay.
of course, I try to offer my services. What I determined a lot of the time is sometimes what you thought was going to be your target market is not your target market. What you wish and hope will be your target market because that's who you want to help the most is not your target market.
Yeah.
And you have to be okay with that because
Yeah.
they sometimes circle back. I find they'll be quicker to hire an accountant that is not of our skin tone or whatnot
Mhm.
faster than they'll partner up with us as Black female business owners. And
Right.
it's a tough reality, but Those accountants are all up in your business. They know all your numbers. I'm not trying
Yeah.
to know your numbers. I'm trying to grow with you. Or
Right.
I find sometimes it becomes a competition, which is unnecessary. I want my people to win. But I
Right.
find a lot of times it becomes like, oh, they're competing with you as opposed to let's grow together. Everybody
Yeah.
else can work together and build their community up. Let's do the same.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah, but I've faced that quite a few times. Quite a
Yeah.
few
And I don't
times.
even know how I bumped into you again. Like I think the stars are aligning for me for this and for us, right? And for me, I've like pre-COVID, I did a lot of vendors markets and I did a lot of working with Black entrepreneurs. And I'm all about promoting our people. And
Absolutely. What were you doing in
so
the markets? I need to hear more about what you've been up to all this
so
time.
yeah, all this time. So
Fill me
okay.
in.
So yeah, what's the tea?
What's the
Okay. So
tea?
so I pre-COVID, I started doing a lot of vendor markets, as I said. I was focusing on Black entrepreneurs and vendors, people in business. So it didn't really matter what type of business, as long as it was a legal business. Um, I was wanting to promote. So I created a space. So I had venues that I would rent out, and then I would hire like vendors, right? And when I said hire, I mean you'd pay for a table, I'd get the venue. I had showcases at the same time. So I'd have the vendors and I'd have showcases where I'd have entertainment going on at the same time. And then my first event, I had the mayor of Brampton out. All I did was submit a proposal, asked him to be present, and that was like easy. I got him to come out. He
All
came
you
out.
had to do was ask, huh?
All I had to do was ask. And he came out with his entourage, his people, and he patronized our vendors. He purchased, and it was that one was like African history around that time as well.
Nice.
Um, yeah, he patronized our vendors and he bought from them. And then I did it again. The second time I did it, now this time I wasn't having to reach out to the politicians. They were looking for me. They're like, "Oh, can we come?" Now they're asking me,
Mm.
"Is it okay
Mm-hmm.
if you show up at your event?" Because I know like a lot of people don't like politicians to be indulged in things because it's political, right? And
That's the
they
thing.
asked me. They had to ask me if they were okay to be at my event, and I was like, "Absolutely."
I'm over.
Um, they
I like
had
when they make an appearance, though. I
yes,
I respect it.
and I could have gone further, and I still I have a little thing in my mind, but
Huh?
sometimes it's not good to share everything. To keep some. We'll talk off
It's
air.
secretive.
No, it is like
It's
I'll
planning.
tell you what that's about.
Yeah.
Um, sometimes when you put things out into the atmosphere, people there's always that monitoring spirit,
Mm-hmm.
person
Mm-hmm.
monitoring. So
Mm-hmm.
you don't just so I keep things to myself, and that until I know that I put my ducks in a row. And
Yeah.
right now for me, just even reaching out to you, I don't even know. I can't even recall how that even happened. Um,
Stars aligning, like you said.
was aligning because we haven't seen each other in
Don't
about
age us. Careful.
it's been about 8 years or more.
Yes. No,
It's been more than that.
more than that,
Right.
because
10 years.
I didn't have a couple of my kids back then. And I say a couple.
It's been about 10 years.
It's been about 10 years.
Been about 10
Yeah.
years. Kind of yeah.
It's
But
been about 10
so
years.
it's that time, right? It's that time. Like I can just by having conversation with you, even through text, I know that you're ready to come
Yeah.
out.
It's
You're ready.
next level now. Let's go. Like
So
you said, once you have your ducks in a row, like I'm a big planner, the Virgo in me.
yeah.
I
Oh
like to
yes, I'm a
make
Virgo too. That's why.
I like
Okay.
to make sure everything is ready before you know how we are. Present
Yeah.
it to the world, and before
Yeah.
people can hop on board, I'm like, here, this is what this is. And I
Yeah.
have everything lined up. People come with, what do you call it? My students say the receipts. I got all my
Mhm.
receipts ready.
It's
Yeah.
right. It's right.
But next
Well,
level, it's time to level up for all of us.
it is. And so um putting the business out there, being
Mhm.
more visible, letting people know what you're doing. I think that's part of us, promoting ourselves and not just catering to our people.
Yeah, but
You know?
I'm always have that soft spot. I'm
Yeah, we
always
do. We
this
do
is
have to.
always for my people. No matter what my numbers look like outside of it, I will always have that space.
Yeah, we do. We have
Right?
to. We have to. We have to take care of home first, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
was raised in the hood, so that'll never leave my heart.
And a
Never
lot of
leave my heart.
people that I work with, like being with the board, we both work for the
Yep.
board, the board.
The board.
And a lot of parents, they appreciate when they see me or you, people that look like us. They're like, oh wow,
Yeah.
there's someone that looks like us, and they feel there's a comfort level right off the bat.
You literally see shoulders drop
Yeah,
when they see you with their students.
yeah. And even the kids, when they see someone that looks the cultural representation is important, in the businesses that we have, and the business that you have. Just being there, and and the things that you're doing for our kids is phenomenal. you know
Thank you. Thank you.
um you're taking interest.
Likewise.
You're taking interest. You're not only teaching the kids, but you're teaching the adults as well of how to play with their kids and
Yeah.
how to teach their kids
And that it's
through.
okay to play.
Yeah.
Like playing's okay.
Hmm.
But yeah, sorry.
Yeah, it is okay. It is. I think I think back to when I was probably like 9 or 10, and your parents were like, "You're too big for that. That's not
Always.
for you anymore. Like, throw it away." And
Pick
it's
up
like,
a book.
with me, like, I know we're kids need to play nowadays. Kids don't know how to play,
Nope.
right? So
Nope.
your business would be an ideal business to bring into a school setting, or into the home, or into an organization that has children or catering to children, to teach them again how to play and get
Yeah.
off those devices. Do you
That's
hear
it.
that a lot from parents that you work with?
Yeah.
Get
Yeah.
off the devices
Get
and
off
just.
the devices and um screenless activity. They say that it's very minimal within the homes, and a lot of parents are feeling guilt because they sometimes have to rely on the screen so that they can even get anything done. So part of learning through play, I find, is not just a child playing on their own, it's learning how to play with other people in real life again,
All right.
right? Not just on a screen or talking to them on whatever they're talking on these days.
Yeah.
It's physically being in front of somebody else. Hey, do you know how to catch a ball? I was embarrassed last year when we were doing track and field with my students. And you know how running up and down your hands? No, they don't do
Mhm.
that. Half of them did not know how to run, literally run from one place to the next. I was shocked. I thought they were kidding. I thought they were clowning me, but they
Yeah.
did not know how to do that motion.
Yeah.
Running long jump, just the steps that you're supposed to take,
Yeah.
they could not coordinate that.
Lack of coordination. Yeah.
I was shocked. I was baffled.
Yeah.
And you see them trying. They are trying so hard. And it's just back in the day for us, that was natural. Come on, you do the running long jump, and we're laughing at how far we get, not
Yeah.
if we actually take off.
Proper
They're not
formation in
taking
your
off.
hand. Yeah.
It
It's
hurt my
because
heart.
the motor skills are not even developed the way that ours were anymore. Like, they're using a lot of the thumbs and the fingers. Some of them can't even write. They
Nope.
rely so much on the device, like the
Typing.
computers, to type, and they don't know how to hold a pen
Yep.
or a
Yep. A
pencil.
lot of the students, like, so that was actually one thing we went in. It was a fairy princess party. We practiced how to hold wands. Like, we called them wands, but they were pens. We were practicing how to hold our pens and pencils
Yeah.
because the mom noticed, hey, my kid doesn't even know how to hold their fork properly. I was like, wow, all right, we'll turn it into a game. No problem. So
Yeah.
by the end, the whole goal of that party, or it was a play date for these kids, but
Yeah.
was to know how to hold your fairy pen. and it's sad that that's what we have to go back to. But at the same time, these same kids are just getting pushed through the system. It's like, come on,
Mhm.
you got to keep going because no one's failing anymore.
Yeah.
But imagine you don't know how to use a pen and you're going to high school.
Right. Yeah.
That's heartbreaking.
It is very heartbreaking. It is heartbreaking.
But yeah, I shout out to the teachers though, because some of them, they are teaching cursive writing still. Half of the kids
Yeah,
can't read
that's
it.
new. It's coming back. But a few years ago they brought that
It
back
was,
into the classroom.
it was gone for a
And
long time, huh?
yeah.
Even that, I heard some kids are like, what does that say? I'm like, you guys can't read cursive? They
No.
can't read certain clocks, like the analog clocks. I was like, man, all right, we're turning all of these are games now.
Yeah. So this is what my frustration, part of my frustration with the with our system. Like so our Canadian system. If the kids are not, they're behind. They're
Very.
behind. If they were to go to another country, and I can name like third world countries,
Oh,
what is considered to be a third world country,
yeah,
where my parents come from, it's considered to be a third world, but they're way more advanced.
absolutely.
Educationally, their standard of education is higher, and you know, it isn't. It's thoroughly embarrassing. It's thoroughly embarrassing.
It
So,
is. It's unfortunate.
yeah,
And then I wonder what the priorities are because there's so many barriers, so many restrictions, so much red tape. It's like, at what point do we get around all of that? How do we get around all that?
yeah,
Why aren't these kids more of a priority? But I just hold my corner and again, fill in where I can. That's why I was like, okay, if I'm going to get restrictions here, I'll just create my own thing. I'll help the kids one way or
exactly.
another. It's my calling. I'm coming right back to it, one way or the other.
Yeah, you're gonna do it for yourself.
Gonna
They
do it.
the school system, but you're gonna do it in your own business.
Yep.
That makes sense.
Can't
That
stop me
makes sense.
there. Or maybe you can. I lied. Don't. But yeah, but it's good to hear that you're still active because I remember even when we were working together, just that impact that you were having, right, on your youth, on your, and again, this was a decade ago. So I
Mhm.
can only imagine what you've been doing since. And that was one goal of mine is to have impact, like impact.
Yes. So after I left there,
Mhm.
because I was working on my degree and I was doing a placement at your facility
Yeah.
it was a school, was it not?
It was a school. We were at a school. Yeah.
Yeah, so I was doing my placement and I was doing my social work degree. And after I left there, because I at the time I was working at a high school and I had taken some time off to do my placement. And I was working with autism, high
Mhm.
functioning autism. And then I left there and I went back to the behavior team that I was on previous to that. So I worked
Mm.
on the behavior team from 2014 to just the other day, 2020. What is this?
5, 6. We're in 6 now.
Yeah, 2025.
Wow.
So our team got dissolved in April. So, I went back to behavior. So I understand what you mean, like doing your own thing, saying, okay, there's restrictions with the board, but if I open my own business, I can do whatever I want to do.
Yeah, can structure it how I want. Like,
Yeah.
can meet the needs I want to.
Yeah.
Yeah, because that was even the same thing working for other people in the past and developing their programs. They're like, you know what? That's going to take too long to teach a kid that. Let's just focus on the easy stuff. It's like, but why? Challenge ourselves.
Yeah. Yeah. I think it was through your program where because you were talking about the running, and I think through your program, it was the after school program.
Yeah.
Is it
Yeah.
after school? So
Yeah.
they had to focus on the
Yes.
physical, and they had to meet certain
Certain needs.
criterias.
Yes.
Yeah, yeah.
Because so everything that I've learned in the past there, I obviously I use it now in my program. So in the piece of my program where it's multi-sport, a big thing I learned in the past was focusing on your running, jumping, catching, throwing, and being able to strike. So if when I develop a program, all those needs are not met, then I need to restructure. I need to revisit it because those are at least the basics. Now I'm hearing, okay, I got to work on form. So let's throw form in there. Like, what's going on?
Yeah.
And it's good to still be active in our field because you know what's missing. You get to know firsthand. And like you said, working in the autism space, some of my greatest students. I love these guys. And now that I'm on leave a little bit, I miss them. Like I go to visit them, they're
Mhm.
like, "Oh, you're back." I'm like, "Yeah, I miss you guys." And you just see how they've grown, the little things they learn, the everyday life skills and how much it means to them and their families. It's a big thing.
Yes,
I love
yes,
seeing that. It's a
for
big thing.
sure. And I think, they, for me, they appreciate it more. They appreciate it more
Yeah.
than ever.
Yeah.
More than other clients, I
Yeah.
should say. Yeah.
Easily, easily.
Mhm.
And it's something they'll never forget because it's like every time you're sitting there watching your child use a fork instead of their hand to eat their food or pulling out their food themselves, unzipping the lunch container, they're just like, wow, I remember when they learned that. I
Yeah,
remember where they learned that. They
yeah,
wouldn't have been doing that. And
yeah.
little things like that make me happy. I don't know.
And people take it for granted, right?
Mhm.
When your child is able to develop those milestones when they should be developing those milestones,
Yeah.
you just take it for granted. And then, for parents that have children that are autistic and they're not meeting those milestones and then having to take the extra step to meet those milestones,
Yeah.
they appreciate, and that's what I was saying, they appreciate it more because you invest in them, invest
Yeah.
that time and energy in getting them to where they're at, right?
Exactly. No, it's very true. And I get touched when they try to compare children. I'm like, never ever compare children to anybody else but themselves.
Mm-hmm.
Compare to what they were doing yesterday. Don't compare them to like Sally over there. Never
Mm-hmm.
do that, right? That's one thing that I'm always reminding parents. Hey, it's okay.
Mm-hmm.
What was your child doing yesterday? Were they able to do this? No, but they can do it today.
Yeah,
That's a win. That's
that's
a
it.
win for the year. Be proud of them. Be happy with them.
That's
Let
right.
them celebrate the small wins.
Yeah, yeah. Focus
Yeah.
on their strengths and not their weaknesses, I say.
Easily. Yeah. That's exactly it, right? You got to
Yeah.
get somewhere, man. But I do find a lot of parents that I encounter having guilt and
Mm-hmm.
they're trying to blame themselves and I'm like, "No, you can't. You can't. The fact that you're calling me means that you obviously want something to change and you notice something. So let's work on it, right? One day at a time, one step at a time is what I just tell them."
Yeah, absolutely. And that's my mantra as well. It's not your fault. It's not a fault of yours. We need to so just going back a little bit, for the past few shows I did talks on autism, talks on
Yeah,
ADHD,
saw that.
and there were questions of, do I want my child to be labeled, or like, is a label be
Mhm.
bad? And I said, you want the label. You want the
Yes,
child to
to get a
have
label,
that label in order to get the services that they need. If they
the
don't have that label,
resources. Yeah, but you're right. And the earlier you get it, the better.
yeah. So if you're seeing the signs, don't feel embarrassed. Don't, oh, my child's not walking at that age. My child is not talking at that age. I've worked with 6-year-olds that are not talking and they have to
Yep.
go through therapy. And sometimes it is fact and it is a matter of the child is just lazy and it doesn't want to use the language
Yeah.
that, right? It can be that, but it also can be just there is a serious diagnosis that needs to be discovered and then treated, right?
Yeah. And it's better you address it because you were talking about our people before, and there's so much judgments around labels. Just like if someone says, "Oh, I want to go to therapy," "Oh, I want to go to counseling," there's
Mhm.
so much around that. But it's like, why wouldn't you help yourself if you can? Why wouldn't you help your child if you can? Get them those resources, right?
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, you're having
I just heard it back there.
it's being a mom. It's being a mom. Yeah, because it's coming back on my feedback.
Yeah, sorry
No,
about that. There we go.
yeah, it's I don't know why we're afraid of those labels, like our people. We just like, oh, no, I don't want to go to therapy. I don't want it's, you know what? I remember my parents saying, whatever happens in the house or whatever happens in the home stays in the home. Right. So I get I get that to a certain extent or a certain point. But at what point do you now say, I need help? There's stuff happening in the home and we need to talk about it. Right, and take ownership for our actions as adults. I mean, I'm a talking about when I was a child, but as an adult, I know when I'm doing wrong. I know what part I had to play. I'm taking responsibility for that. And that's where counseling comes in. And counseling only helps when you are ready to admit that there is a problem, right?
Sorry, yeah, I was trying to unmute there and I couldn't.
Yeah.
Please forgive the background noise.
Such your
But but
baby.
but yeah, but no, you're right. At what point do we
I
take
see.
ownership of our journey, right? Of our path and stop blaming generational whatever it was? And that's what we got to do, right? We got to stop blaming the generations before and take ownership now on it.
Yeah.
And if that's counseling, if that's therapy, if that's labeling our child to help them get ahead,
Yeah.
start off better than we have, then that's what we got
Mhm.
to do.
Mm. And I think, in your service that you offer, it also helps kids to learn how to socialize. Like we talked about socialization, but it's huge. I think that's a huge piece because we did
Yeah.
talk a little bit about them being on the device, but learning to play with others and
Yeah.
learning to see, and parents seeing that their child, some parents are not aware, like for they're oblivious that their child is not developing at the right stage. So if they're playing with another child, they are they're developing with those other kids, and they may see, okay, well, those other kids are building the blocks faster or higher, and my child is not able to even pick it up. So that their gross motor skills and their fine gross motor skills are not working the way they should be. And then that way they can make a determination and say, you know what, there is there is a need here.
Yeah.
There's something wrong.
Yeah.
Hopefully they
Something
can
that
see.
needs to be addressed, right? At, at
Mm.
at at the same time. I like what someone said. Sometimes it's about their involvement. Someone made a comment there saying it's about their involvement.
Okay. Sorry, let me open the screen here. Sometimes about their involvement. Okay.
Yeah.
So yes, absolutely. So um the parents being involved, yes. And that, I know who that came from, but it definitely makes a difference. So having a parent, whether it's a father figure or a mother being involved, and that is key. Okay, so I'll give you an example. Something happened today, not today, at the school that I was working at, not today, but it was something that was said to a child, and the words dug into that child, and it really irritated me. And these were the words. The mother said, I hate you, to the child. So we have to be very conscious of the words that we use towards our children, because they internalize these things. And if they believe these things, they will perform like that. They will perform as a child who is unloved, uncared for, you know, and do things that are undesirable to us educators and to their parents, right? So sometimes the parents also need to get some type of support. There's no handbook. Well, there are many handbooks that say this is the parenting handbook, but who's to say that's how you should parent your child? Right? It's all trial and error. I'm not a parent, you're a parent, but
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure, you learn by doing.
Every child
Right?
is different, and even if you raise three children, all three of them could be different with your same like involvement or like how you raise them, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I once heard someone say, like, you know what? You're not all from the same family. And what they meant is that as a firstborn child, your parents were different. They behaved different with you because they were learning a lot. They were learning how to be a parent. The second child came along, the parents were more hands off. The parents were not the same. They're different, right? And again, when a third child comes along, it's even more hands off. Oh, they're fine. They need a little dirt, they need a little
They'll figure it out.
they'll figure it out.
Yeah.
And so it's the same household, but they're different parents and different children.
Hmm.
So yeah.
Yeah. It's very true. But to say something like "I hate you" to your
Yeah.
child,
So
that's gonna stay with that child forever.
yeah, so I made a decision for myself. I said to the child today, I said, I think because she went and told her friends. My mom told me that she hates
Oh,
me. And what I said to her is that I think what your mom meant is that she hates the behavior or doesn't like the behavior. It's not you. And so the mom needs to be able to distinguish and make the differentiate between the behavior
and the
and
child,
the child, right? The
absolutely.
child did something wrong, a bad, right? I don't like to use that word, but
Hmm.
they did something that was wrong, but the child is still the child. You know, the behavior is not
That's it.
acceptable. But you can't say it's just so like it's it's devastating to anyone,
Yeah,
let alone a child, to say I hate you. That's a strong word,
that is a powerful word.
right?
Um, the same person also said,
Yeah.
"Experience goes a long way. You learn as you go around. You gain more patience."
Yes.
Yeah, ideally, you gain more patience.
As you learn, you go along, right? Um, First child, you learned a little. Second child, you learned more. Third child, you're
Third,
like, you know what? Nothing's gonna happen to that child. He's perfectly fine. Let
oh,
him cry.
yeah, you go along, you gain more
Let
patience.
him, yes, let
Let
him
them
cry.
try, let them figure it out. See,
Mhm.
I find that, by the way, now I have three of them. I
Yeah.
got three I got three kids now. So the first one, I was scared of everything. I was scared of every single thing with that child. And I was so involved. I was there. We're reading every second. We're doing all you can. But then life is still trekking. Number two, like you said, okay, well, number one can help teach you some of the things that I'm missing because I gotta go and I gotta
Right?
go get this done. And then I found now that I'm older and I have number three, usually people are like, oh, number three, you know what you do? They basically raise themselves. Now I find that I went backwards and I'm like, no, no, no. This little thing is just like glass. She'll break if I put her down the wrong way. If I do this, this is my one final chance to.
So is it because it's a girl child?
No, no. I think it's
Okay.
because I know that I am not having any more.
Okay. So the last, the
this
baby.
is
So
this
that's
is the
why the
baby.
babies get babied.
Yeah, the babies are getting babied. And then it's
Okay.
like, oh, now I can't let my middle child feel like she wasn't loved this way. So now she's being
Yeah.
treated as a princess. So it's
Yeah.
just like you said, experience, right? And
Absolutely.
figuring it out as you go and patience with the kids,
Mhm.
no matter what capacity you're in with them, as a
Yeah.
parent, as a
Uh,
caregiver, as a teen, whatever it is, when you're around kids, patience and
mhm.
not being afraid to learn yourself. Like I'm
Mhm.
forever learning. I learn so much from my group with autism. I learn from them every single day. Those kids teach me the most, and
Mhm.
I'm so appreciative of everything they teach me, right? And I one day I apologized to one of my students. I was like, you know what? Oh, I'm so sorry. You were absolutely right.
Yeah.
Um, I know I told you what you said was wrong. And it was out of nowhere. I came back the next day. I thought about it. I was like, oh my gosh, this student was right. I went, I apologized to him in front of the class. And I said, you were absolutely right. Thank you for calling me out on that. Um, and thanks for being patient with me as I figured it out.
Yeah.
A teacher actually said, why would you apologize to the kid? I was
You
like, because
know
I was
what?
wrong.
You
What do
know
you
what?
mean?
I do the same thing. You have to show your human side. You have to show that you
Yeah.
too make mistakes. And you
Yeah.
are also, you can humble yourself and apologize to a child because we learn from them as much as they're learning from us,
Easily. Even
right?
my own kids teach me stuff every day. And them, I'm like, it's to the point where my eldest, it's very hard to punish him in a sense because when you're raising yourself and he
Yeah.
can hit you back with all the reasons why what he did made sense.
Yes.
Why he did what he did. So you can't even argue with it. So I was just
Yeah.
like, you know what? What do you feel like should happen in this situation?
Yes,
How
absolutely.
do you think we should handle this? Or there's times that I'm just so heated, I'm so hot. He's like, Mom, maybe we should take a second. You know what? Yeah, let, let, let's take a second and circle
Yeah.
back. Like, you're
Yeah.
right. You're right. Because I've told my kids, I was like, if you feel like I am doing too much, or you feel like my energy is not matching what you did,
Yeah.
Say something, put your, like, give me a sign, and then I'll walk away for a second and I'll come back
Yeah.
and let's
Yeah.
revisit it and I'll match the energy to your actions. Right?
Yeah.
We'll talk it out. And not everybody's like, my mother is doesn't understand that type of learning because she's like,
Oh,
no, no, no,
because
you're the
it's a
parent.
West Indian parent.
Hi, hello.
Whatever I say goes, right?
Hi, hello. But I'm like, nah, and it's not the gentle parenting. It's like they're humans too. They're gonna grow. They're the next generation.
It's emotional intelligence, and that's the whole new word that you said, new thing, right? But really, is it new? No, it's
Is it?
more awareness that you have to be emotionally intelligent.
Yeah, for sure.
Mommy, you're overreacting right now.
And sometimes I just gotta take it. And then my daughter,
Yeah.
because I'm so used to growing up with a bunch of guy cousins, my daughter will
Mhm.
tell me, "Mommy, that hurt my feelings." I'm like, "What?" Because I told you what, and then I'm like, "Oh, you're right.
Mhm.
Like we are not the same. I'm
Mhm.
sorry that hurt your feelings. I'll switch. Let me try to switch my wording next time. I meant what I said. I just should have said it a little differently."
Yeah. Yeah.
Right? So it's things like
Wow.
that I learn in my home, I learn in the school, and I can use them in different spaces.
Right.
What do they call it in the job world? Transferable skills. I
Right.
learned transferable
Right.
skills, right, from these
Exactly.
students. Yeah.
Exactly. Well, look at the time. The time is going by so quickly.
All right.
Um, I want to give you an opportunity to shout out your business and talk about where we can find you if people wanted to get their children or their grandchildren or their niece or nephew or whoever it is to come and access your services.
Yeah. Most people contact us through Instagram. We do have a website, so consciousdreamsinc.com. But on Instagram at Conscious Dreams Inc., Facebook at Conscious Dreams Inc. We keep it simple. We keep it simple so you can find us.
Okay.
If there's not a program that's listed for you, just hit us up because we do like to personalize things. We do like to add a little theme to our events. And whatever event is happening, whatever space you have that you need us in, we'll work with you to make it happen. So, yeah, just contact us.
All right. Awesome.
Jewel, thank you for having me. I appreciate you so
You're
much.
welcome. You're welcome. Great show, guys. Very good subjects. Thank you so much for the viewing audience, for the listening audience. Thank you, Annalisa, for coming on and reconnecting. We have to connect after the show because there's big things in store for you this year. So I want to say thank you again from the bottom of my heart. I want to also say
Appreciate
to
you.
everyone, whoever is locked in right now, stay tuned. Do not log off. We have another great show coming up right after this, and that is This Week in Interview with Anthony Drago, right? And also on the weekends is Dissect. I'm the host on Dissect with the Navi. We will have Cruziano on this weekend. Tune in. And so don't log off tonight because right after this show at 8 p.m. is Anthony Drago's show. So thanks for tuning in to Minds in Motion, where you get straight talk, real situations, real people. All right. I had to get better at that saying, but take care. Have a good night.